Santa Clara women's soccer getting set for the NCAA tournament. Welcome into another edition of Bronco Chat. David Gentili here with Bronco forward Julie Doyle. Julie, thanks so much for joining me. It's your fourth year. It's your fourth NCAA tournament. This is what it's all about. Tell me about the feeling you have about this team going into the postseason.
Well, thanks for having me, David. I'm just extremely excited for this group. I think we have major potential. Um, we're not going to take any team for granted, and we're going to play like the underdog, like we've been saying this entire season. But I truly think that, we should feel a little confident that, we have a good squad and we could win the national championship. And it just makes me excited, and I can't wait to get started.
You talked about the underdog mentality. Tell me how you've seen that come out in a big way for one of your big wins of this year.
Yeah, I mean, you know, having the season be a shorter season and not many teams making the tournament, we knew that, we basically had to win conference to, get into the tournament. And we had to play big teams like BYU and Pepperdine, both away games. And the BYU game, we ended up winning 2-1, and it was in the snow, and it was a late goal that was scored. And then we went to Pepperdine the next weekend and had to play on their home field, which we struggle with in our history. We haven't beaten them on their field since 1999. So, and we came back and beat them 4-3. So there was a lot of grit and a lot of grinding and a lot of just leaving everything out there on the field that got us to this point. And I think all the odds were against us this year, but we overcame those challenges as a group and we came together. And I think that's what's really going to help us going forward.
Part of the significance of that WCC championship was because, as you mentioned, the schedule was so different that automatic qualifier, it was an extra security blanket. Normally you have the non-conference, you schedule tough, and you build a resume that puts you in a good spot to get a spot in the tournament. But tell me about beyond just securing that berth. What was the significance of winning the West Coast Conference Championship for your group and also for your senior class?
Yeah, I mean, no player on this team has ever won a West Coast Conference. And in my 4 years, we've come so close, like literally by 1 point, I think my junior year, just because we tied someone. And so, just knowing that, we're a good squad every single year we make a deep run in the NCAA tournament, like we should be able to win a conference championship, like we have a quality team and we have a quality coaching staff. So this year, I think we really just, it helped knowing that, it's going to be really hard to make it into the tournament. So we also had that extra like motivation. But yeah, I think we were the deserving team and we got the job done and we beat those teams gave us a good game and they were very good teams, but we beat them fair and square, and we're West Coast Conference champions.
Well, Julie, you're part of an attack that ranks seventh in the country with 2.71 goals per match. We talked about this for a halftime interview for a WCC Network broadcast earlier this year, but I'm always curious to get your perspective on what makes this group unique and such a good dynamic attacking unit.
Yeah, well, Jerry always says that, we want to win games because of the way we attack. We take risks in our back line. We want our outside backs to get forward. So everyone is a part of the attack, which is really, really cool. But I think what makes this team unique is we have so many different faces and players that can step up and score a goal. Backline players, center mids, freshmen, seniors, doesn't matter. Like if one person is not having their best game, like we always say, do your role and half of someone else's. And I feel like we have each other's back when it comes to that. And, we're just willing to cover each other and play for each other and get the job done and get it in the back of the net.
So pulling that phrase, do your role. What is your role on this team? How do you want to help this team score goals?
Yeah. I think there's a big emphasis on, quality in the attacking third. And that's, getting around the back line, taking players on 1v1, being confident with the ball and being confident to create chances for this team, whether it's the third pass that makes the goal, whether it's the assist, whether it's the goal, just being ready and anticipating anything, wanting those scrappy goals that just happen to pop out. Um, any way that I can help in the attack is what I will do. If Jerry wants to play me at midfield, I'll do that. If he wants to play me at forward, I'll do that. So just being flexible and leaving it all out there on the field.
Well, with this pandemic shortened season, because of a number of different factors, you've only played 7 matches as a team going into the tournament. Each of the last 3 years, it's been 20 matches going into the tournament. Does it feel a little weird or different? Say, we've only played a third of our normal schedule, but hey, now the tournament's here. We're ready to go for the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, not gonna lie, it does feel different. But if you want to find a silver lining, in past seasons where it is a lot and it's a lot of games, you kind of have that sort of burnout at the end of season, and you have to gain anything inside of you. You have to, just find whatever it takes to give that final push for the tournament games, which I feel like maybe this year we're not as burnt out. We've played 6 games, I think, and we've done well, and we can just continue to build off that and, have some fresher legs and some excitement going into this tournament. And, we want to leave everything out there, and, we want to win a national championship. So I'm just very excited to see what we can do. And our goal is to make a deep run.
Well, in the tournament, the season's on the line every time you step onto the pitch. Tell me about how that makes these games feel different than the regular season games that you play.
Yeah, so the regular season games, we take those as sort of like learning opportunities. Jerry wants us to learn and grow each game that we play so that we're able to perform well in the tournament. So I think that we are prepared. And like I said before, we just need to do what we know best, and that's to play together and play our style of soccer and be calm and confident, although there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot on the line. Just, have me and the other experienced players send that message to the less experienced will help us. I think in big moments, we have done really well in that area of staying calm. We've gone down against BYU, we've gone down against Pepperdine, and we've managed to stay calm and come back and win those games. So I think going into the tournament, that was great preparation for us, and I'm really excited to see what we can do in the tournament.
I want to talk about your experience through the couple NCAA tournaments you've been a part of so far to wrap it up here. And the first one was your first game in the tournament was your sophomore year because you were injured toward the end of your freshman year. You step onto your home field for your first tournament game after having to sit out the previous year. How special was that for you in your sophomore season?
It was extremely special. My freshman year was tough. We had a really talented team, and I wanted so badly to help them, but I had an ACL injury, and that was going to take a while to heal. But finally getting back out there and being able to play on your home field and having fans there to watch an NCAA match, that was so fun. And I love playing for the fans, and you just have that feeling that you're playing for something more than yourself. You're playing for the little kids that are watching in the stands, that I remember doing the same thing when I was little. You're playing for your school, you're representing the athletic department. There's just so much that you're playing for, and it's like such an incredible, like, motivational feeling, and you just want to do whatever you can do to get your team onto the next round. So that's what our team did, and yeah, we made a deep run that year.
Well, you talk about playing for so much and playing for the fans, and you gave them the moment of moments, a golden goal in the NCAA tournament last season in that first round win over Cal. What do you remember about that goal and about that celebration?
Yeah, well, a lot was leading up to that goal, I feel like, because, the first year, my freshman year, we played Cal in the first round. And then NC State, my sophomore year, we lost to them in PKs, but we totally outshot them and just did not reflect the game. And it was a really hard loss because, we really felt we should have won that game, but we didn't get the job done. And so going into my junior year, we are playing Cal Berkeley in the first round. Second half, we totally were on them, outplaying them, in my opinion. And the game is over and it's 0-0, and we're in this huddle and Jerry's talking. Can't tell you what he said because I literally was just like emotional, and I was like, we can't lose like to PKs against this team. I do not want to feel like how I felt against NC State last year. The first chance I get, I'm just gonna get the ball and go to goal, and that's exactly what happened. We had a kickoff, we did well, we got into the attack, and it popped out to Audrey Hedgart. She toe poked it out, and I just bolted to goal, took a touch to the right, and nailed it in the back of the net, and turned around and just saw my teammates rushing the field. Everyone's cheering. It was so amazing that I just had to cry tears of happiness.
Well, another tournament and another chance to perhaps make some more great memories like that one. You and the Broncos get it going Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Julie Doyle, thanks so much for taking the time. Really enjoyed chatting with you, and all the best in the tournament.
Thank you so much.